Here are the top 10 reasons why people miss OG Fortnite. One of the main reasons people miss OG Fortnite is because it had more of a straightforward gameplay style with fewer complex mechanics and items, and it was easier for newcomers, and it wasn't as much as a skill gap there is now. Coming in at number 2 is nostalgia. Many people remember the first time queuing into a game and getting their first victory royale, or those days you would play with your buddies and you're grinding and like you'd clutch up and get the win as your friend is dead. It's that thing that will never come back, but you can keep on trying to recreate it. Number 3 is something that comes dearly to my heart, is the OG map with Tilted Towers, Salty Springs, Retail Row, Frenzy, Fatal Fields, and Retail Row, and my all-time favorite spot, Loot Lake and Wailing Woods. That is something we will probably see again when chapter 4 season 4 comes out. I think that is the season that it comes out, the next one. But yeah, the OG map is something we'll never see again. Coming in at number 5 is the OG weapons, on how they were so good yet unbalanced at the same time. Like actually being able to one-hit someone with a sniper headshot instead of like doing like 197 health. So nowadays we have weapons, but most of them aren't one-shots, especially if you play zero build with that 50 extra shield down in the middle. Coming in at number 6 is the community. Back then the community was way more wholesome, and like the events and the limited LTMs that were coming out were insane, and the concerts were amazing. Nowadays we will probably never see the OG 50v50 game mode or many of the community events that happened throughout the years in chapter 1. If you're a real OG, you probably remember this, but how hard it was to rank up in the original battle passes in chapter 1 and getting to tier 100, like without doing anything, just grinding the game. It took forever, but nowadays with like how easy it is, how much XP you get, it is crazy. And the rewards you would get, like tier 5 Omega, the lights, chapter 3, the John Wick skin, is something you will not see nowadays. Coming in at number 7 is the weapon variety. Some players miss the simpler pool of OG Fortnite, as it allowed for more straightforward decision making when choosing which weapons to carry, and it also felt less cluttered with constant additions and vaultings of weapons. And one thing I know a real OG will miss is the art style. The original art style of Fortnite was more cartoonish and vibrant, with some players found more appealing and unique compared to the more realistic graphics of some later iterations. Like the blue of nights and the orange days were insane. If you're a real OG, you remember like wanting to hop in a squad with your friend, but you find out one of them's on a different platform, let it be the Nintendo Switch, PC, or even PlayStation if you were on Xbox. The day they finally added the cross-platform, so many people were happy. It was one of the first games to actually do that. And it also made it so the community was so much stronger because so many other players could finally group together, and didn't matter what console you were on. And if you're a real OG, you remember how less intensive the games were. They weren't as competitive, they weren't as hard, but they were still fun, and you also had that adrenaline rush whenever it'd be a 1v1, because neither of you knew what to do or how to build. But nowadays, it's if you're in a 1v1, last two alive, you are going to be cranking 90s. You are going to have to be at the top of your game, focused to kill the last player. And coming in at number 10, the last reason why people miss OG Fortnite is the memories and things you experienced along the way. We are never going to get that back, because that is one thing you can never get back. The first time you loaded into a game, the first time you did anything with the game.